Piggy the Insane series, one of the most captivating Piggy fan games of the past few years, was released on the 15th of September of 2021. This game has eye-catching visuals, a similar yet improved story, logs, and a roleplay where you can try and use your very own skins. It is safe to say that the Insane series team have produced an amazing game all round, and today I will walk you through the story of the game step by step. Are you ready? Make sure to like and subscribe to support the channel. Let's go! Identical to the base Piggy game, the player has been sent to the Piggy residence to look into the mysterious disappearance of Georgie Pig as well as Penny Pig, which is the slight difference. After leaving the household being attacked by what seems to be the Piggy family, the radio checks in with them and they make their way back to the station in a panic. On the player's abrupt arrival to the station, Doggy, the player's fellow police companion, is grateful about their arrival. Doggy fills in the player about the infection. If you get attacked, you turn into one of them. After hearing a yell within the station, everyone turns toward the source of the sound, and then all hell lets loose. The player, Doggy, and Perry attempt the escape the under-attack station from groups of infected. As Perry approaches the exit, he shuts the door after being attacked to try save them, but after fending off the infected, the door reopens, where we see Perry has been scratched in the arm. The Doggy and the player are forced to leave Perry to turn within the station, and they drive off. When driving off, the player and Doggy mourn the loss of Perry, which is shortly lasted as a police car is seen driving directly behind them, following them. Doggy and the player then stop at the gallery where the player goes in looking for supplies, whilst Doggy will then try to loose the police car, where they will then meet up outside the gallery. We meet a fellow survivor inside the gallery called Adonis, who helps us get to the back exit. We then meet Doggy, who is delighted to acquire gas for the car. Doggy is startled by the presence of this unknown person, who then introduces themselves to be Adonis. The player tells Doggy that they must leave as it's not safe, and the three drive off. Whilst driving, a radio signal comes in telling them to go to their safe place at the forest, which then the group drive off to in hopes for safety. 4 weeks later, after finding a place to stay, Adonis wakes up startled by a loud noise. Adonis then notifies the others about this, and they then go investigate. Whilst running from infected to find an escape, Adonis gets scratched in the middle of it all. But despite this, the group keep going to find a way out. Despite the player knowing about this, they decide to take Adonis with them until he turns in hope of finding a cure for him, and they get away. Their ride ends in a so-called sewer, where Doggy makes the reference to it, looking like an insane asylum that they researched in history class. The sewer leads up to a school full of infected. The barely surviving group leave the school, which they then come across two unknown people, which they then introduce themselves to be Bunny and Mr. P. Bunny states that they have a cure to help their friend Adonis, which Doggy is speculative about. But without any time to talk it over, the player passes out on the spot, and the group immediately rush to the hospital with Bunny and Mr. P. The player wakes up in the hospital, where Bunny tells the player that the hospital is under attack and that they need to leave. The player questions Bunny, but Bunny states that there is no time to answer their questions and that the hospital has gone into full lockdown. The player finds Doggy and Adonis in one of the hospital rooms and finds a doctor hiding in the security room after yelling for help. They make their way up to the roof to find the helicopter with MRP, but it seems that Mr. P has cowardly left. Rosie, the survivor we saved, states that Mr. P is most likely at his carnival, to which Bunny suggests going to the underground metro station to get there. As they make their way down, Adonis takes a seat against the wall and turns. The group arrive at the metro, and after the group notices Adonis's absence, Bunny takes a rest after running around the hospital, and the group discovers a recently turned Adonis who chases the player around the metro. After the player opens the exit, Bunny sits down beside the train, revealing that she got infected several minutes before their first confrontation. After Doggy tells Bunny to get on, Willow and her group locate the player, and Doggy after looking for them after being released from her cell by the player. The player, Doggy, and Rosie then leave Bunny after Doggy gets shot by Willow, and Willow tries to spill information out of Bunny about where they are going. Bunny, being loyal to her friends, refuses to give any info, to which Pony then locks Bunny inside the transit office until she cooperates. Back on the train conductor introduces himself to be Mohammed, who has devoted his life to helping others ever since the infection broke out, and agrees to get them to the carnival. Doggy was able to heal his wound, and the player reveals that they made a deal with Willow to let her out of her cell for one of the supplies for the car, to which she then chased the player down the station. Doggy, not impressed by the player's lack of police training sense, storms off in anger. The group arrive at the carnival, and Mohammed sends them on their way. Doggy states that he needs to rest to let his wound heal, and Rosie and the player explore the carnival for Mr. P. The group then find an exit to the carnival being empty-handed, but then they stumble upon a survivor called Zizzy. After introducing themselves, Pony steps into scene and is reunited with Zizzy, surprised as could be after leaving the TSP group at the Metro. Doggy and the player share a short-lasted bonding moment and forgive each other, to which Zizzy takes the group back to a safe place so Willow and TSP don't catch up with them.